cut gets prizing, right? So
Absolutely.
people are going to keep playing even if you can't make top cut.
And then this guy's got the that promo Viktor and the overnumbered Viktor. That's kind of hot, dude.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I forget what the arcane Viktor, I want to
Is
say.
that what?
Yeah.
Is it from the Arcane collection? Is that what it is?
Yes, I think so.
I see. I see. Well, that is definitely fancy. Do we have a picture? We don't. Okay.
No, but we do have the regular one, which is this.
Yes, absolutely. So, yellow Viktor leader is going to create a token whenever a non-token dies. So not too bad.
Yeah, it actually has really great synergy with Sprite Call.
Oh, you know what I just noticed, and this is really funny. It says non-recruit, so it works with the other tokens. I didn't realize that. I just thought it was a straight up when tokens die, or when it's a non-token that dies. But nope, it is a non-recruit unit.
Yeah, that's what's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right, we are gonna go right off to the races here. Joseph just gonna go ahead and make that recruit token right off the bat. And we can see in his hand that he's got the Vanguard Captain as well as that Spectral Matron, which leads me to believe that he's on Hook, baited Hook.
That is traditionally more of a baited hook style build, as seen by the Darius in set 1, where you try and play out your Vanguard Captain, like Seal's Vanguard Captain, play out a hook, go hook and hook off the into a matron play out captain, and you just keep going and generate infinite tokens. But it is the possibility that you don't play them. I would kind of expect you do, because they have really high power costs if you don't, but guess we will have to see. Fan coming down for Draven after a stack deck.
I mean, Alex Z here, while he hasn't been much on stream, he's been in a lot of tournaments that I've seen and constantly been at those top tables. So excited to see him play here, especially into a Viktor. I'm not sure that Viktor has a favorite matchup, but it will be interesting to see how he does. And so, yep, another token going to be made here. We got to see that overnumbered Seal of Unity. And then, yeah, he's just going to go ahead and exhaust all of his runes, play that Vanguard Captain, go ahead and make 3 units onto that Trifrian War Camp, and it's going to be a long time before Alex is going to be able to overtake that battlefield.
Yeah, Draven's really good at getting off like 1 or 2 units with the fighter flights. I mean, you're not rebuking a token unless it is literally winning you the game. But again, Draven pretty good at getting a lot of these small units off. Or sorry, not super good at getting a lot of units off, but it's on War Camp. So those tokens are actually kind of big, which is pretty annoying. No longer can you just like efficiently push up like maybe a Draven plus something else and take out a bunch of tokens. I mean, that is what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 might already? That's a lot.
That is a lot of might. So this Overzealous fan is going to be put onto the other battlefield just because, I mean, what else are you going to do? So this Draven is going to be developed here, and then, yeah, it's going to be a while, like I said, before he's actually going to be able to answer what is happening. So we'll have to see if Joseph does have that baited hook. I don't know which one of these players is Crashy, to be honest, but chat is very hyped up for their homie. So good luck to Crashy. Not sure who that is, but either way, we are going to go ahead and see what he's going to do for the turn here. 2 runes going to be exhausted. Looks like it's going to be Rally the Troops.
Cool card.
Yep, very powerful card. When you play it, you get to draw a card, and then also any unit that enters play this turn comes into play with buff. So we'll have to see if he has a second Vanguard Captain. I don't quite see it in hand, but
I think I see a manufacturer maybe.
I think you are right. I think it is Faithful Manufacturer.
What's really scary for me here is if I'm Draven, I just don't see how do you clear the War Camp? Like if Viktor has the point lead right here, right? So Viktor very well, if they chose to, could just say, I'm going to put infinite tokens on this and I will eventually win.
This is true.
The only thing that is like a little bit spooky is if you do think that the Draven is on the Miracle build or is playing like the Piercing Light package, like with Ezreal's, like that does kind of pick away at a lot of the tokens, right? Because you can repeat it, kill 4 tokens, and then obviously if you have like a Fizz, you can do it again. So that is one thing you do need to be aware of, is kind of be conscious of what style of Draven it is, because like most of the mid ranges aren't on Piercing. That's more of like, I'm playing the Ezreal, so I'm going to cheat the cost. But otherwise, Viktor in a point lead definitely feels good here.
Yeah, I mean, he just has to continue to hold. Is definitely working on building up that back line to overtake this Reaver's row. I think one thing that's pretty interesting here is that he can just go ahead and send in that Faithful Manufacturer by itself and then just push him off of that Reaver's row. So Alex will need to do something a little bit further to kind of maintain control of it and at least maintain kind of this point disparity between the two players. We did see Joseph use that Seal of Unity to hide a card. That card was a Consult the Past, but Alex does not know that. So, and then chat is confirming for us that Joseph is crashy. So,
All right, so Joseph gonna be drawing some cards. It is kind of funny how traditionally the most played Viktor hiddens are both just draw cards, except they're very radically different draw cards. One just says draw cards, and the other one says draw cards or kill something, which can be a little bit spooky. But we are seeing a Forerunner come down, which is pretty good into the kill decks and the kill decks and the removal decks. So not too bad here, especially on the war camp. Can trade pretty efficiently with a lot of tokens because you're going to swing up for 7, take out 3 tokens, and then you have 2 more tokens to shove up on the next turn for 8 might, essentially. So not a bad card in here.
yeah, and I'm actually a bit surprised to see the Draven stay in base. So instead, Joseph just going to offer the trade here with the recruit, and then and see if Alex wants to just protect his Overzealous fan. It looks like that is going to be the case. So now Joseph going to be at 4 points this turn. And yeah, I mean, Alex is going to have to do a little bit more to kind of really overtake what's going on in the Strafarian War Camp. I think right now Crashy doesn't really need to worry about what's happening in terms of this War Camp. He might actually instead, it looks like he is going to go ahead and play this defensively. So he might just go ahead and fire off this Consult the Past. There it is. Viktor Leader going to come back. Oops.
I'm kind of surprised he's even pulling off, but I guess the idea is he does have an Imperial in hand, so maybe he says, okay, Draven, I do want you to start pushing units up on the battlefield, and then I'm going to drop this Imperial, and you're going to lose everything. So,
yeah, I mean, that seems to be the case here. I think that's absolutely his situation, and, wants to maintain at least control of the war camp for the time being. A little bit surprised by that. I think he's just trying to play, a game of chicken, if you will, with Alex, and say like, this is a hidden blade, right? And so he's gonna force Alex to just kind of overcommit in a little bit onto this battlefield, and yeah, so there it is. I like this play here from Alex. Just gonna go ahead and reveal that it is Consult the Past actually. Get back another recruit, draw 2 cards. And essentially just a better hidden blade in this scenario. It's not going to change anything, but at least you get to hold on to the hidden blade, so you get to get rid of one of these picker units later on, which I think is just significantly better. So, yep. And then this Draven, yes, he is going to be able to draw a card, but at least this recruit token gets to survive.
Yeah, and that's a lot of recruit tokens. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Some of them things.
Yeah, and we do see a Thousand-Tailed Watcher.
I think I see a Matron, a Watcher, Imperial, a Stupefy. So what I do like about pulling back, and so I did say before that I don't hate holding the battlefield. In fact, that's probably what I would have done. But what's cool about this play is it does open him up to playing Imperial on the next turn, and then you can trade more efficiently into the Forerunner, because instead of losing 3 tokens, you just lose 1 token. And you still kill it, right? Like, it's Imperial, trade for 1, sure, whatever. Like, that's fine. And, oh, wow, okay, another one coming down. Okay. I mean, the card's pretty good. I think it is one of the best answers to the war camp here. It does remove quite a few units, and then it does end up floating, so it represents 2 pushes. Azir is going to be at 6 points on the next turn. I can't really see a way Draven holds both battlefields.
Right.
So maybe the second Forerunner a little bit slow for this scenario, because it is going to potentially die on Joseph's 6 point. Sorry, it is going to die on the game push, essentially. Assuming that Joseph is able to find that. I guess that is the question. The Watcher does help a lot.
Absolutely. I think honestly, if I'm Joseph, I think I'd much rather go for the Thousand-Tailed Watcher, I know that Alex is fully exhausted, so I don't actually have to commit very far to overtake this battlefield. I could just play this Thousand-Tailed Watcher, deal with his crap, and then next turn I can go for the Imperial Decree line. It also gives me another opportunity to draw into a Bellows Breath, and I think that is what he is considering here, and it looks like that is going to be the exact case. So just going to go ahead and drop down this Thousand-Tailed Watcher, overtake both of these battlefields. Very likely here with the Faithful Manufacturer on both sides. I guess Thousand-Tailed Watcher into the Draven, force him off the battlefield, and then, well, actually, 6, right. The Viktor would be able to take it here, and then you'd probably, yeah, okay. So I guess he's just going to use the Thousand-Tailed Watcher there, and then what, you use the Faithful Manufacturer?
It is buffed, right? Yeah, so that would be 3 into potentially 3.
3 into 3, yeah. Or 2 into 1. See, this I don't like because now he can just go ahead and get rid of a token.
He can use it twice here, which is kind of annoying, right?
Yeah, exactly. But he does have that Stupefy in hand, so he's just trying to force out a rune so that Alex has a little bit less to work with next turn. So actually, I do agree with Joseph in this regard. I think Crashy's playing this correctly. Understands that, look, if you +2 it here, I can just -1 it, and then we trade, and then you don't get to draw, and I get rid of the Draven, and I get rid of one of your runes. So I think this makes a lot of sense.
Yep, so opting here to Stupefy, like you called. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. And what is kind of cool with this is this does line up perfectly for a 9-rune turn on the next turn. 6, 7, 8, 9. So even if Alex holds for a hard bargain, it's not going to stop the decree.
He has to have exactly double hard bargain.
Yes. So let's see. What are we going to get? The only thing that does kind of suck is this does mean that the Watcher does get pretty efficiently traded with for the Forerunner tokens, right? Because those are going to be 8 into 8 there. But I guess you can't complain too much if you're Joseph, because that would have fully dealt with a full Forerunner, right? Both the tokens and the main unit. Yeah, not a lot of answers here for Alex at this point. I think I see a Darius in hand. Not going to help.
Yeah, these Darius aren't going to be doing too much. I mean, the Fight or Flight does allow him to push off this Thousand-Tailed Watcher, but I just don't think that you want to utilize this Thousand-Tailed Watcher here. So Alex instead just going to go ahead and send in that Overzealous Fan. Joseph just going to push back the Recruit, doesn't want to lose it. And this makes perfect sense. Sure, Alex gets another card to work with, but he only has so many runes, so this doesn't really change the math of anything. He still has that Imperial Decree, like we talked about pretty extensively at this point. And yeah, I mean, you've alluded to it perfectly. I just don't see a way that Alex gets himself out of this position, right? I mean, there's just too much going on the side of Crashy's side of the board. Alex needed to find some answers sooner, and I think in retrospect, I do agree with you. I think that Ferris Forerunner on that prior turn was a little bit too slow.
Yeah, I don't think you can really afford to play it there, and you do need to commit to something else in hand. And there is the possibility he had nothing else in hand, in which, by all means, but in that case, it is going to not have an impact here. That being said, is going to get a couple draws, so maybe can find the double hard bargain. But even with the double hard bargain, things could get a little bit dicey, because there is a lot of might represented on the tokens. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then obviously some of these are going to be on the war camp, so that's even more might. All right, so does end up shoving up with the Forerunner plus a token, trades with the Forerunner, and gets a couple tokens for the next turn.
Yeah. I mean, look, I just don't think there's going to be a next turn. So I think Joseph was like, well, this is much easier to deal with. 4 might, much less than 7 might. And it really makes these Imperial Decrees just that much less useful. So now Alex has to decide how he can deal with this. But I mean, yeah, this is an absolute nightmare scenario here for Alex. I think he recognizes that as well. All right, chat. You need to relax, okay?
Hey, hand shuffling is therapeutic, I promise.
It is. It is. There's no real
Is that
logic
triple
behind it.
Darius I see? I feel like I see triple Darius.
I saw double Darius. I'm not sure if I saw the third one. But I mean, it's really just kind of stuck in his hand here, and he's just never going to be able to play it, which is unfortunate. But
Yeah.
it is the case that he is in. So Alex needs to figure out how he's supposed to position himself properly to be able to have another turn. And I think right now, if you're going to go ahead and develop a Darius, it just means that there isn't going to be another turn.
Correct.
So
I think that is a losing play, but it might be his only play. So you sometimes do things that are not great and pray your opponent doesn't have it. Yeah, so it was triple Darius. That is quite unfortunate. I do think probably the only way was multiple hard bargains, which I don't really think Dravens really even play multiple hard bargains generally, at least in the main deck. Like a bunch of hard bargains, and then I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It seems pretty unlikely there was ever a card combination that was winning here.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you here. So, I mean, Alex is really just going and mulling through and going through the options. I think Crashy kind of already knows how this turn's going to play out. Doesn't really see anything that Alex can do to get himself out of this scenario, which is fair. But, you know, he's just going to go ahead and overload that side of the battlefield as best he can. Try and play around this Imperial Decree as best he can. But again, you know, Crashy's already 99.999, you know, infinitely repeating, going to win this. Really, the only scenario in which I don't think Crashy wins this game from here is that he just plays it wrong.
Yeah, like doesn't activate Decree. Or plays something before Decree. And, well, see, at this point, Alex only has 3 runes up, so you can't even double hard bargain.
He also can't hard bargain because there is no hard bargain.
Oh, in his hand? Can you see it?
Yeah, I didn't see it.
I see. Unlucky.
Yeah, he's got a fight or flight.
Well, Alex could, like, drop his hand. We got to play for our outs. You got to understand here. Okay, and wow, that is a lot of order runes. I wonder what the rune count is. Maybe like 8-4?
You know, he's got so much order, it feels organized.
Well, I mean, those tokens are pretty nice. He's got them all stacked up on top of each other. Yeah. Only thing it's missing is like a dice to count the number of tokens it is, but.
All right, so yeah, just gonna go ahead and take the trade with Overzealous Fan. Allow Alex to get one more card. Oops, there's the card.
All right, and now let's see that Decree dropped with the Swiftness. Wow, doesn't even use the seal. He's like, I don't need that card. The game is over.
The game is over indeed. So just going to go ahead and send this recruit in to the terrain war camp, try and force him to interact with it. He's only got 2 units remaining. I mean, Alex has to figure out something really before this turn happened. Viktor is one of those decks where it's just incredibly difficult to stop once it's at 6 points.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, he managed to get to that 6-point threshold. And so, yeah, we're going to have to figure out how he's supposed to get himself out of the scenario. And it really just doesn't seem like there is one. So Alex is going to go ahead and...
I'm very surprised he's playing it this way because this just gives Alex infinite draws. It shouldn't matter. But I feel like you just send in enough units. Like, what's the punish? Maybe there's the punish I'm missing?
The only punish here, I mean, I just don't see that there is a punish. Even if he has all of the answers in the world, I mean, he still has to survive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more combats.
Okay,
so it's going to go ahead and reveal that it was a tie turner.
3. So he can survive 3 more combats.
Yeah, that's not enough.
Okay, and so here comes recruit number infinite.
Recruit number infinite. I like it. I like it.
Yep. So here comes a cold shot. I mean, you only got 3 runes to work with, but
he's hoping and praying.
It is interesting to see the cold shot. This does appear to be more of the mid-range Draven, and generally you see that more in the Miracle Draven, not the mid-range version.
Yep. So we did see a hard bargain, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways. So
correct. All right. So would not be surprised to see him fight or flight this recruit. You know what's actually interesting is it gets very close if he had played the hopeful to the Reaver's Row. Like,
Yeah, it
like
would have been decently close, but yeah, Alex recognizes
Alright.
that there's nothing he could do. I really appreciated the patient play here from Crash. He just says like, okay, send my recruit, send my
Yep.
recruit, send my recruit.
well, it gets
And-
easy.
Yeah, I mean it's just incredibly obnoxious because he's committing the least amount to the board, and if he'd committed just that little bit much more, he would have been able to potentially overtake it. But again, Joseph just played it very patiently, very well. So glad to see that both these players are understanding their outs, and really Alex just didn't have any there. So very well played here from Crashy. Hopefully game number 2 can go well for him, or even better, we can get to game number 3.
Yeah, and you know what I thought was interesting there in Joseph's hand is he had multiple salvages. So main deck salvages in multiples, not just one. There were two of them things.
Yeah, that's a little bit surprising to see. I don't think very many players, if any at all, besides him have done that. At least 2. I think I've seen 1 in a couple of Azir lists. Just because, like, sometimes you're like, okay, whatever, I'll just...
I think the best of Viktor, because it was pretty much the same list that Vegas and Bologna was playing 1, I want to say, in the main deck.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, so please no one fact check me on that. Just accept it. Accept it as the truth. Notably, we did not see a hook, so I guess we'll have to see if there is a hook. Would not be surprised with the rune count, though, and the units that were played. So,
Yeah.
all right, so we'll have to see. I imagine it will be a Targon's Peak for the Draven, and a... Is Obelisk is a going first battlefield for Viktor, right? Because you want to play token plus 2 drop.
Token plus 2 is for what? Sorry, my brain did not register.
No, I'm
what you
saying
said.
Obelisk is a... Okay, well, he just played it going second, so nothing I said mattered. But my question was, I was like, is Obelisk a going first battlefield for Viktor? Because that gives you 3 runes, so you can play token plus 2 drop. But he just played it going second, so clearly not the case. Clearly not the case.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could potentially just be there to make the Draven players consider going second. Because I think that's what a lot of players have been doing, is they'll just play it on the game, or like the game that they win.
Yep.
Just to make that player think more than they really should, to be honest. And so, yeah, I mean, Alex off to a good start here. He is going to have a stacked deck. He will be able to consider going for some sort of thing like a Noxus Hopeful, which would put him in a very commanding position, especially because he is on that Targon's Peak. So being able to just have those 2 runes ready, use something like a Fight or Flight to just cheese out 1 point, could be the difference between winning and losing. So,
Yeah, I will say, if you did opt to go second versus Viktor in an Obelisk game, and you played out your Draven, you might be grieving. Anyways, call of the week.
yeah, Call of the Week's
That would feel very
pretty-
bad, but I have not seen a call of the week in Joseph's hand yet, so not too sure. I'm sure he's playing at least one, right? Like it's a yellow deck, it's a token deck, one of the best removal cards in the game. Gets around everything. It kills the pesky Baron Nashor.
It does. It
Yeah.
also kills the Kalama.
The Kalama. This is true. That poor Kalama. What did it do wrong? I think I see a hidden blade. And is that a vengeance? I can't quite tell. He's hand shuffling so fast.
The Spectral Matron, Vanguard Captain.
Oh, that's a
Imperial
matron?
Decree.
Okay.
And I don't know what the 5th. I think you're right. I think that hidden card is a hidden blade.
Ayo.
I'm gonna leave now. Sorry, chat.
You're almost there. You're
All
almost
right.
there. Is that a vengeance?
Oh, it is a vengeance. That's what it
okay.
is.
I see, I
Okay,
see.
it might not be Spectral Matron. Might be vengeance, and then he still has the hidden blade. We're not
It
sure.
was shiny. It was shiny.
He has a lot of shiny cards.
It's true. And so if he is playing a 10-2 split, this is very unlucky on runes.
It's true.
That would be quite wild. But 10-2 split on its own is quite wild. All right.
This is also true.
So
recruit token going to be able to get that first point of the game. Obviously, this overzealous fan doesn't really want to do anything, so the Faithful Manufacturer is actually going to be the card that comes in, which leads me to believe that he's actually going to play his Viktor leader, and instead, actually, this Vengeance is going to come down, take out that Draven.
Yeah, not too bad. Getting the Draven out of business is pretty good, as it here is going to prevent a potential gold token plus the draw on the next turn. And Draven tends to give a lot of value for the Draven deck over time, so not feeling too bad about that one. Though no seal this time, and the seal put in a lot of work. A lot of yellow power was paid, so no seal this time around. Gonna have to pay the full cost of everything.
Yeah, and unfortunately here for Alex, I see a Falling Star. And Falling Star is one of those cards that I just really hate into Viktor. It just doesn't feel like it really does anything at all. And Joseph did miss the trigger for the Targon's Peak, so...
Yeah, that is quite unfortunate, but I don't think he has any cards in hand he would have played, but it's nice to represent the threat, right?
Absolutely. So instead, Kai's just going to come down right now, allow himself to draw a card, and then...
2 cards.
2 cards, you are absolutely correct. And we'll have to see if he does end up going for this Falling Star just to get rid of these recruit tokens, keep him low on that recruit count. And he is considering it here. I mean, it's the first card in his hand. He's really just considering what he needs to do on these following turns and if he actually has to hold on to these runes. Draven is famously very good at playing on a low rune count, but we do see cards like Bring Here Thundersong. We do see a second Kai'Sa in hand. And it looks like he's actually leaning towards this treasure hunter now.
See, this is why I like Piercing Light so much more than the Falling Star, because Piercing Light there clears the entire Viktor board, and Falling Star is like, oh, I killed 2 tokens. Yay. But I'm a huge Piercing Light fan in Draven, so I'm a little bit biased there. Opting to hide a card, okay.
I like this. It lets him just present a fight or flight, forces Joseph to play around fight or flight, but also it allows Alex to move around this treasure hunter, and then worst case scenario he can, or I guess best case scenario he can flicker between the Overzealous Fan and the Tide Turner, and then still be able to trigger that Overzealous Fan.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool there if that is a Tide Turner. I guess we'll have. Did you see it? Is it a Tide Turner? Okay.
Tide Turner.
Okay. Oh, salvage being dropped. Just to draw a card, right?
Looks like it. There is no gear tokens, so it's gonna go ahead and call the judge. I believe this is one of those weird scenarios where like you don't actually have to have a target.
Correct.
So
you can draw. You can pay 2 and 1 power to draw 1 card. That is allowed.
yeah, it's not allowed with discipline, but I believe it's allowed with salvage because it's on a separate pure sentence.
I'm gonna look this. So let's pull up a salvage. All right, where are you at salvage?
It doesn't say then draw 1 card. It just says draw 1 card.
Yes. So you may kill a gear, draw 1 card. So
Oh, that's the difference. It's a may.
yes, it says may rather than, and I don't think discipline says you may give 2 plus 2. It
It
just
says
says
give.
target, give
Yeah.
plus 2. Yeah. Well, it doesn't say target. That's one of the things Riftbound's bad about. But it says give plus 2. All right. I mean, that's an expensive draw one. It looks like they are talking to the judges here. Hopefully this gets cleared up really quickly. It's a pretty straightforward one.
Yep.
And this game's looking a lot less good for Viktor than the previous game. We saw a huge amount of tokens built up, but now this time we only have 2 tokens, no Vanguard Captain, no seals.
I do believe he's got 1 Vanguard Captain in hand, so he
None
will
on
be
the
able to.
board.
That's fair. Yeah. So just waiting to develop that Vanguard Captain, which makes a lot of sense. Really wants to deal with everything that Alex has going on. And needs to be able to find some different cards because 2 salvages in hand is too much.
This is the downside of playing a bunch of the salvage card, right? You could just get stuck with it, and your Draven opponent is like, "Yeah, I don't need my axes. Yeah, I got
Spinning
fists."
axe. How about spin nothing?
Wow, that was incredible. Thank you, Sasuke, everyone. Follow him on X for more
Dad
excellent
jokes.
dad jokes. Yes. So it looks like the judge is gone now, or at least I don't see the judge in the player cams.
Yeah, I don't see the different player cams either, but we did see Alex pull over a judge. She was nodding towards him, talking to him,
Oh.
and there it is. Oh, that.
He's talking to someone. They could have escalated it. Could be a head judge call here, potentially. Oh, there we go.
Do you know what's faster than an escalator?
What?
An Escasooner.
He's here all night, folks. Well, he's here
No.
for the rest of this round
Yeah,
and an interview.
true.
Are we doing it? Yeah, we're doing
Yeah.
one more. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you have not gotten the last of them yet. You should tell a dad joke to whoever you interview and see. Ask them, what were your thoughts on that joke? Rate that 1 to 10.
No. What do you know what type of pictures turtles take?
I do not.
Shelfies.
It just keeps going. I love it. I love it. So finally did find the seal off the salvage. Now gets to play the Vanguard captain, like you said, and get a couple recruits. So finally building up the base a little bit. Unfortunately, only has 2 tokens to work with for this turn and is pretty much tapped out. Would not really expect to see Joseph pushing up at all here.
No. Yeah, I mean, this makes a lot of sense. He's just going to go ahead and build up his back line. I think this is a perfect place to be, right? Like, you know you don't have any answers to what's going on the side of Alex's board. If that's a fight or flight, you definitely don't. But you already don't through that Kaiser alone, which means that your only real choice is to try and overtake this overzealous fan, which just isn't possible to begin with. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is absolutely as correct as it can be. And then there we go. Tide Turner is going to be played here just to go ahead and move that treasure token, get a gold that he can use on this turn, which leads me to believe that he really wants to go ahead and drop down this falling star this turn. Doesn't really want to use 2 runes to do so. So it makes a lot of sense.
Why did he... What trigger did he respond to there?
The Viktor trigger.
Oh, so Viktor just like shortcutted, putted the token, and then he's like, "Oh wait, I'm responding."
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Oh, and so
Instead it's going to be a Ferris Forerunner, and then he's just going to go ahead and move back to base here. I mean, I think this makes a lot of sense from Alex. Like, Joseph is behind on point parity. As long as things keep going the exact same way that they do, it is going to continue to favor Alex. So,
Yes.
not sure what just happened and why everything just got all dark, but okay, problem solved itself.
Yeah, so pulling everything off the battlefield makes it nice and simple for Joseph, but Alex is happy with this. I mean, you are in the point lead. You can afford to pull your stuff back because you'll just push back up onto 6, and then you're setting up the lethal on the next turn. And we did actually see the Forerunner in time this time, right? So the Forerunner is going to get pushed up, and even if it is killed, you have the tokens just in time.
Yep.
For the final push.
And so you see a thousand-tailed watcher, so that is a good position to be in here. We'll have to see, what Alex decides to do. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely an okay place to be in. And then Joseph, I guess, just deciding whether or not he wants to use this recruit or gain this recruit token. Looks like he is going to opt to do so. And then, yeah, I mean, if I'm him, I'm just going to continue to play back. I don't have the opportunity to develop that second Vanguard captain in hand. And so, yeah, just going to go ahead and pass and ready 2 runes. So, yeah, Alex is going to have to figure out how to get himself some more gold tokens, but we have to assume that he's going to just go ahead and crash in the Kaiser. So,
yeah, this feels bad here. You get Draven gets infinite draws on this turn, as you do get to go get a draw off the Forerunner, a double draw off the Kaiser. If you even choose to push up the Kaiser, there's a world where you just say, I'm pushing up like the fan or the Tide Turner and then holding my units back for the next turn still. I think he's thinking about that as we speak. Okay, yeah, it does end up pushing the Kaiser forward. So drawing 3 cards, that is a fat hand.
absolutely. Look, this is one of those scenarios where the Draven got ahead early, and this is a mid-range list. It is a very snowball-style deck, where once it gets that point lead, it's hard to break that parity just because it has such offensive capabilities. And Well, I mean, Alex did manage to get that early point lead, and this is the fruits of those labors. So he's going to go ahead and make himself another Ferris Forerunner, put it onto that base, and then even if Joseph manages to use something like that Imperial Decree to kind of overtake these Ferris Forerunners, he's still going to have 12 might in base on that following turn. So love this development here. And it is going to be up to Joseph to figure out how to deal with all of these mech tokens. And yeah, I mean, absolutely is everything growing. It looks like there is absolutely not a 10-2 split, as we do see a third mind ring.
We've been lied to.
We have been lied to. I think it might be 9-3 or it's probably 8-4.
I would imagine 8-4 because then you're guaranteed to see. Oh, you're actually not with
No,
8-4.
it has to be 6-6.
Yeah. It's pretty likely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this is really rough here because to clear off the battlefields, you need to play your decree, right? But if you play your decree, or the watcher, because you have to actually hold, which just feels so difficult.
Absolutely. I just don't think that Joseph really has a way out, especially with what Alex has on board. But he needs to figure out something right now, and he's going to do his best to do so. So he's going to go ahead and send in his recruit token. But this spinning axe is going to be a really big hamper on what's going on. So this guy says at 1 might, he is going to be able to put down that spinning axe and then just answer what's going on. Instead, opts not to do so right now, which I do think is interesting because, look, this Thousand-Tailed Watcher is going to come in, and he doesn't have to really interact with it right now. I would have liked to have seen that spinning axe and then just push back that Thousand-Tailed Watcher and then force the Viktor to trade with the Kai'Sa. Yes, you do lose your spinning axe on the following turn, but you deal with so much of what's going on the side of Joseph that it's just that much easier to deal with on that following turn.
See, it's interesting that now he is opting to play around the spinning axe, right? But did not on the previous combat.
So I think what's going to happen now is Alex is going to use that fight or flight, push back that that fox, and then I would like to see him still go for that spinning axe, but instead just going to go ahead and take the trade. It does get the hold and draw, so that actually does make perfect sense.
Yeah, and now the spinning axe beats all the recruits, right? Because it's at 3, he pushes up 4 recruits, you axe in that. It's not game, but it is game on board, so.
Yep, he realizes he won't be able to hold into that, so just going to go ahead and move on to the next game here. Very well played from Alex, very patient play.
Yep.
Not sure I agreed with not using the spinning axe, but he had a different game plan in mind that obviously worked. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's really hard when you are playing this Viktor deck to come from behind in that kind of scenario where your opponent just holds their units in base. You're kind of forced to have like a Watcher Bellows turn or a Decree Bellows. We haven't seen a Bellows yet. And if he is playing that really high yellow count and low blue count, maybe there's a world he's not playing. It would seem absurd to me if he's not playing it, but we haven't seen it yet, so there is a chance.
Yeah, I mean, we do know that he is on those Spectral Matrons, so
Yes.
It does make things a little bit more difficult, as, you know, it is a lot of yellow power to churn through. So, do like to see, by the way, just as a side note, the overnumbered seals. They look so incredible. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they do look really nice. Do you know if they are going to be printing more overnumber seals in future sets, or are they just done printing seals after this set?
So as far as I understand it, Riot Games has said, and don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure that they've said
All right,
this.
let me write this down real quick.
Let me make sure that I write that Sasuke said this happened.
Yes.
No. But again, not 100% on this, but I'm fairly confident, which is why I'm saying this, that Riot has stated they are not going to print the same arts of cards in reprints. So
I meant like different. You know how the runes are doing different alt arts? That's what I was thinking. Is like, are they going to do more seals with different overnumbers or?
Oh, possibly. I mean, I would have to assume so. I mean, the seals are just
seem
insane.
very integral to the game, right? Like
yeah,
like not a base mechanic, but like pretty close. Just having a. You know what was kind of cool that I haven't seen people talk about too much is. And they did talk about this in, I forget if it was the State of the Game or something else, but they said somewhere in a Q&A that they eventually might get non-basic runes.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Which is a super interesting thing to think about. Like, imagine they had like, this is just like the most basic rune, but if you had a rune that was double colored, but it comes in rested, right? Like Magic dual lands,
Yeah,
right?
but it would be cool if when you recycled it, you got 2 power.
That would be super cool, right? Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then you have to like balance it so there's a reason to still use the originals, and I don't know what that is off the top of my head.
Entering exhausted is a big punish.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. But here's something interesting to think about, and this is for you as well, Chad. Really, okay. How many colors is Twisted Fate?
3. He's 2, but he's 1, but he has 3. Well, each of the 3 things is a different color, right? So the
he's
card
4
itself.
colors.
I guess if we're working off like Magic Commander, right, where you have to have all of the colors, right?
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
That's even in sealed. Even in sealed, you can't get everything. Very sad. 'Cause
Correct.
You can only have 3 colors.
Which leads me to believe that whenever they release the legend, the legend will be 4 colors.
What if they made them omnicolored?
Don't get my hopes up.
That'd be cool.
That would be so. Oh man, I almost swore there. That would be so cool.
It would be really cool. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they, now that they've established the rules, how they break them. Because breaking the rules is where things get really cool. So.
Yeah, I mean they kind of broke the rules of all card games with Called Shot, but
That's true. Generally, you do have to use resources to draw cards, but apparently not in Riftbound.
No.
And Draven too, the fucking the Draven leader, plus Called Shot.
See, you let it slip. I almost let it slip.
Yeah, this is the problem with having a potty mouth is sometimes it slips out.
It happens. It happens.
Yep.
We all get one.
Yep, you get 1, no more, no less.
On 2, then it's
Then I'm gone.
straight to jail.
Yes, you guys.
Police will arrive in less than 5 minutes. They'll be like, "We heard you swore 2 times
2, not 1, but 2 on a live stream."
on a live stream."
The Twitch
dude.
police
Crazy.
are gonna get me. Wow, is he really not played anything else yet?
Well, there is that obelisk of power, so he just played that tide turner pass. Joseph went to go score that point.
Yeah, of course.
And honestly, I really like this line here from Alex. Just go ahead and see what's going to go on the side of Joseph. Look, if he used something like a hidden blade on a tide turner, you're not going to feel bad about that.
Yeah, it's just a very aggressive push with the ride the wind. But I guess you can't feel too bad when it gets you a draw. It gets you 2 points, essentially.
2 points, yes.
It's a pretty aggressive play, but I mean, it's a...
Kill a unit, gain 2 points for 2 in a rune.
And a draw.
And a draw.
You know.
That's...
Excuse me.
That is ridiculously strong, actually. So really like his just kind of cost assessment there. Recognizes that, it's going to be punishing over these next couple of turns, but the reward for it is just too drastic to not. So love to see it here. And then Alex, really considering what he has available, understands that this isn't what he wants to see. I mean, I feel like if this was what he wanted to see, he would have picked the card that he wanted anyways. So the stack deck, not the greatest, but it is going to get him through his deck and hopefully find something a little bit more useful in these coming turns.
So, you know what is kind of interesting there is how punishing that would have been if Joseph did have, like, a Stupefy, as he had not played any cards. Is that it's not game losing, but it feels pretty close to it because you've recycled, you lost your unit, you didn't get your draw. Not game losing, but it sets you really far behind. Though obviously we have not seen Joseph play. I saw one in his hand, but he's not actually played one from his hand yet. So maybe Alex is like, well, maybe he's not even playing the card. It is a cantrip, which I mean is hard to say no. The cantrips, they're good in every game, especially ones that do something as well. And -1 might is relevant a lot of times, but and Falling Star being played for the first time, and wow, Alex is paying a lot of power. Generally, you see the yellow decks paying all the power, but no, Alex is saying I am on the offensive.
Yeah, I think this is one of those scenarios where he just has to play aggressively, doesn't actually have what he wants in hand. So I think he did pick up that Falling Star off the stack deck, and it's just like everything else is crap. I can't really play anything here. Even if I do develop this Draven, it might just get stripped away anyways. So going to go ahead and play out that Viktor as well as that Xin Zhao. And it's 4-2, so that Spinning Axe will be able to overtake here. And this does mean that he gets to maintain control of this battlefield and then also get that extra card. So while he will be at 2 runes, he still gets to maintain a 3-point lead, which is a very significant amount. And now Joseph's just going to be forced to go onto this obelisk. Does not feel good about it here, but will at least be, only 2 points behind rather than that 3.
Yeah, that does feel pretty bad, but like we said, Alex is paying a ton of power, and at some point, I mean, you can have infinite cards in hand if you don't have the energy and runes to actually play them. So Joseph ramping up a little bit faster. Ideally for him, he is able to kind of take advantage of that and then eventually overwhelm Alex, as Alex is still trying to ramp up. But okay, and here comes the Draven. We still haven't seen a Cola week, actually, now that I'm thinking about it.
This does lead me to believe that Joseph is not on Cold a week, which I think is absolutely shocking considering how much of a token style deck he is running, and the fact that he is also on Spectral Matron, as well as Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao has been a very interesting card. It is a unit that essentially has Accelerate and has more might for its power, which is a very unique effect. And it does feel very flavorful for the card. But now the salvage is finally going to come down and get some value for the first time in the series. And it might actually just be a death knell, considering how far behind on runes Alex is. And the fact that this Vengeance is going to come down as well. I mean, you could see it almost feels like a despair on Alex's face because he just has nothing in hand to deal with what's going on.
Yeah, that's a lot of tempo that Viktor just gained and is potentially getting not just 2 points, but potentially 4 points out of this, right? Because you clear the board and then Alex has to reestablish. The way I would say that Alex says no to this is if he does have like a Kaisa in hand, is you could directly just go Kaisa, push up onto Obelisk, and then start re-threatening. But even that doesn't feel too good because, like, if the Kaisa dies, well, you got 1 point and you deramped again, and you didn't get your leader draw. I mean, Alex pushed very aggressively early, and things are not feeling super great here.
No, they're not. I mean, we were kind of like beating on a dead horse here, but the fact that he was forced to recycle so many runes early is really coming back to bite him. And while it does say that Joseph is at 2 points, he's actually at 3 points, chat. So just FYI, he got that hold point on the obelisk. He's going to get the hold point here with that Vile Mausoleer. So there it is. Now he is at 4 points. And this bringer came down and really she just didn't do anything. Viktor isn't really playing on his opponent's side of the field, so just putting it down now because what else can he do, really, is kind of the way that he's looking at it. I mean, he doesn't have any other units in hand. He does have a Falling Star, but that's not going to be enough. And, yeah, I mean, this Viktor cannot leave this Vile Mausoleer, which is annoying, but he does have the point lead, and Alex needs to figure out an answer quick.
And Joseph does have the Kree in hand, so is potentially setting up for that kind of checkmate scenario again. If you do build up that big token army in your base and you say, all right, I am going to send infinite tokens in and there's nothing you can do about it because you don't have enough cards to deal with this. So has 4 now, and they're all buffed, which is one of the cooler plays that this deck can do with the Rally the Troops, is it cycles itself, and it effectively was a +3, right? So not very value card if you can get it. So +4. There we go. Even another one. Yeah. It's like he's looking for the token. Does he have enough? We know he has enough because game 1.
Yeah, he had like 30 tokens on the field. Well, not 30, but it felt like 30.
A lot of them. So this is a pretty big turn for Alex as he does finally have a unit established. And now, I mean, we know the Falling Star's hand maybe can start cleaning stuff up. Though it looks like Joseph is saying, hey, you don't want to go to this Vile Maw. You do not want to deal with this Viktor. There is a hidden here. I would not be opposed at this point to just hidden blading your opponent's unit if it means I'm getting a draw out of it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I agree. But if he hidden blades his own and his opponent draws 1, so why not just let them draw 2 and then force them to find yet another answer? So,
exactly. Wow, double hidden.
The card in the Vile Mod's lair we know is Consult to Pass. Don't watch her put it down.
Okay.
But I did not get to see what that second card or second hidden was. So I do think I see a Hidden Blade in his hand still. So I'm not sure what either of these hidden cards are. And yeah, Alex just going to go ahead and
Says, I
force his
don't
way.
care.
Yeah, force his way in there. Says, all right, show me what you got. I believe. Oh, it is a Hidden Blade. I apologize. He juked me. So there it is.
This is interesting because this gets to the point where for Alex, the hard bargains have a ton of value here because Joseph has deramped himself so much in the last couple turns. Yeah, you can even see one in his hand. And I think there's like an argument. I think he has to use it here specifically because he has no board presence otherwise, right? But if he does have another one or can find another one, Joseph is going, he's on 5, right? So he goes up to 6 on the next turn at 5 runes. And then for that final push, he's only at 7 runes, right? So if you can do a recast hard bargain, you can't decree.
He just found the second hard bargain off the top.
Let's see if he sees that because that is a line. That being said, you do need to get to that point without losing to his board, right? So
Absolutely. So, yeah, Alex needs to find a creature quick because it doesn't seem like he's found one for a while now. I think he cited out just a few too many small units. And I think it's really coming back to punish him here in this game number 3. Joseph is at 5 points. He will be able to get to 6 next turn. And once that happens, it's going to be very difficult to stop, as we do see that hard bargain. But the fact that this falling star has to come down just means that Alex has even fewer opportunities to take over this game. So, yep, will not go ahead and hit that Vanguard Captain. Just going to go ahead and get rid of that Consult to Pass while he has that opportunity. So Joseph just going to go and fire it off right now. And he really wants to fire off this hard bargain, but that does mean he does not protect himself against Imperial Decree.
oh, okay. So there is the second hard bargain saying, Joseph, you will not have cards. This does mean that Joseph is free to go the 6, which is a little bit scary because then you do end up putting Joseph on the kind of win turn, right? And you will still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least five units to work with the decree. That being said, I think 5 units is stoppable. Like because he has to trade, and he has at least 2 units for the trades, right? So that's 3 units. And at that point, you can have like fighter flights, which we see 2. So that's dealing with at least 4 units, right? I think it is possible. I do not think this is checkmate from by any means. And I mean, there also could just be a third hard bargain, which makes it very easy because you just counter it, and that's generally probably going to be game. Not game, but it's going to make it rough.
Yep. So Joseph's just going to go ahead and recycle 2 more cards here. Drop down this Spectral Matron, set up for that final push. It's going to go ahead and find that Faithful Manufacturer. Doesn't have a Vanguard Captain in his graveyard. Just going to go ahead and make another recruit. So 4 more units going to be developed here on this turn. And now Alex has to figure out a way to stop a Viktor with an Imperial Decree. 8 units and enough runes to cast it.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. Oh, wow. This is surprising to me.
This is definitely a shocker here. So the Vanguard Captain going to go ahead and get taken out. I think I would have liked to have seen him
do that first, because then you can replay it. Yeah. I wonder if he like chose to do that in the moment. I will say the benefit of this play is now Alex is forced to remove both battlefields. Where before you could just say, I'm going to push you off one, and then you have to take the other one the honest way. But now you do have to deal with both. He's used 2 falling stars already, so you would have to find the third, assuming it exists. You can do things like fight or flight off, but that's just kind of delaying the problem. All right, pushing up onto Valma and Spinning Axe. Wow, that is a Spinning Axe, huh?
Yep. So he's going to try and draw cards, see if he can't find a way out of this scenario, but there's just nothing left in the gas tank here for Alex, and he just has to hope that Joseph doesn't have it. But unfortunately for him, we know he does. So Alex could do everything like he can, like he did in game number 1, to try and stave off what Joseph has. But yeah, I mean, this Darius just isn't going to be enough either. Again, this Imperial Decree is going to be able to come down, and Hard Bargain no longer available in Alex's toolkit. So, I mean, well played from both of these players. I think, honestly, Crashy just playing it a little bit better overall.
Yeah, I think the pivotal turn for me was opting to Hard Bargain, kind of for tempo, right? Just saying, hey, you're not going to draw cards. But personally, if you look at kind of the game state, so Joseph deramped himself so much, he can only play so many cards every turn. So even if he has 8 cards in hand, he has 5 runes, and if he is going for Decree, I mean, you can just Hard Bargain the Decree. You don't even have to Hard Bargain the card that make him see the Decree, right? So
Right.
I don't know. It's just a thought. It's very easy for us to say these things watching in, and in the moment,
Absolutely.
it's a lot harder when you're actually at the table.
Absolutely.
And there can be things we miss as well. Maybe there was a specific reason that Alex did go for that play, but is at 5 runes and does have the 3 yellows, so can just drop the Decree here if he does opt to do so. Does have to deal with double hidden. Probably just both of the fighter flights, so you have to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So actually the perfect number of units.
Yeah, I think that's an overzealous fan in his hand, so that is both of the fighter flights.
Yeah, so perfect number of units.
Yep.
It is 6 units, and he can stop 4 combats.
He can only stop 3.
Oh, he has to score on both, right?
No, because you can't fight or flight on Biomoss.
You're right. Does does Alex remember that? That he hit it? Maybe it's just. I think you just have to bluff it, right? Like,
Yeah. You just have to bluff. That's it.
What is the bluff? I guess it's
Tide
switcheroo.
turner. Oh,
Oh, so he did just forget. Yeah.
yeah.
All right,
And then
Joseph
the
does
handshake
take
comes
it.
out. Very, very well played here from Crashy as well as Alex. Unfortunately for Alex, not going to be able to get over that finish line there. Just that little bit of too much oomph on Alex's side, or Joseph's side, rather. And you see a huge sigh let out of Joseph. He was like, oh my God, I thought I didn't have it, even with that Imperial Decree. And yeah, I mean, very, very well played from both of these players. And